Massive shout out to Corsair for sponsoring us here at Computex 2018. Check out their 280X Crystal Series cases at the link below. Well, he's done it again. The overclocking, modding, I don't know. It's hard to come up with a word for this guy that doesn't sound a little disrespectful, because he's just kind of like out there, but in the best possible way. Der Bauer has created something that many have tried, but no one has succeeded at. This, my friends, is a very early stages prototype of a completely pumpless, all-in-one liquid cooling system. Now, the first time I ever saw this attempted was in a post on Extreme Systems by old OCZ Tony, where he was like, that was back when they released a CPU block that I don't know if literally anyone ever bought anyway. They had kind of gotten it working such that like the evaporation of the boiling fluid in the block got the liquid to cycle through the thing, and he was like, yeah, this will probably never be a commercial product. And up until now, he was right. So check this out. Let's come in here and have a closer look. Now, this is obviously very early prototype stages, and there's going to be a lot of changes made. Wow, it's actually a little bit toasty because there is a lot of heat under this. This is actually an overclocked Intel 7900X. So even though there's only 2 sticks in here, no, this is not some like weak sauce KB Lake X. This is probably about 140 watts, you figure, somewhere in that neighborhood. So the only reason that the other 2 DIMM slots aren't occupied here is because there's this like pressure sensor thing sticking out of one side of it. That will not make it into the final product, although other than some kind of concept stage renders of what the product might look like, we don't know too much about it. One thing that we know is that the tubing probably won't end up looking like this. It'll be either 1 or 2 tubes, hopefully 2, because that'll improve the flexibility of the radiator placement a little bit. But there are some special requirements that unfortunately I'm not allowed to discuss with you guys, because he is being completely zip-lipped about what kind of coolant he's using in here. The reality of it is you can't keep something like that secret, because there's like material safety data sheets and import and export laws and all that kind of stuff. So he has to keep as few people as possible in the know. Like, he didn't invent a liquid here. So as few people as possible need to know, so they can't replicate it. Basically, what we do know is that the tubing won't be able to have too deep of an S-curve in it, because then the condensing liquid that's dripping back down towards the CPU will get stuck. We also know that the radiator will have to be above the CPU, because that's the way that the coolant cycles. It's kind of like a heat pipe. So you can see here, the CPU is actually visible under there, and then we've got some kind of an element, like a conductive piece of metal that it's connected to here, and that is boiling whatever liquid this is. The gas rises all the way up to a very, very, again, prototype stages looking heat exchanger here, where, there we go, there's a better look at it, where we've got these kind of, it looks like it's CNC'd out, like kind of a CNC'd bottom piece here, where it turns back into a liquid and then drips back down towards the CPU. At the top, and this will also need some significant changes for the final product, we've got a couple of what looks like server 1U, are these just 1U server heat sinks? Wow, Dynatron? Very nice. Couple of Dynatron copper server heat sinks with 92mm fans on them. But what we're going to end up with in all likelihood is more of a conventional radiator form factor, and with something like the same kind of fan that you'd have on a rear exhaust blower style GPU, kind of scattering the air out around it. In terms of mounting hardware, we don't have too many details yet, so I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. Actually, a couple of things. First of all, I'd love to see if any of you can guess what coolant that is, because Roman is pretty confident over here that no one is going to figure it out. And I'd love to hear from you guys, what kind of mounting hardware would you like to see included? This is very likely to be a limited edition product. I'd be surprised if they make more than like a couple hundred of them personally, but it would be a very cool piece of custom PC modding history to own, because this is another cool thing. We've seen concepts of this before, and even though there's no pump, they end up kind of loud because you can hear the coolant boiling. This one, completely silent because of the thickness of the enclosure here. By the way, if you're looking for a case to throw it in, you might want to check out Corsair's 280X series. They've got they've got 4 different versions. It's in black or white and with or without RGB. It's an MATX case design with multiple cooling zones, and it's kind of an updated look of one of their older cases with, yes, my friends, you guessed it, more RGB. The RGB version includes 2 of their light loop RGB fans as well as their digital node controller, which is compatible with their new IQ software. You can learn more about the 280X Crystal series at the link in the video description. So thanks for watching, guys. If you disliked this video, then you're on the wrong channel, quite frankly. But if you liked it, hit like, get subscribed, or maybe consider checking out where to, yeah, good luck, you can't buy it yet. So let's put a link to cat videos in the description. I don't know, who cares? Just subscribe to Linus Tech Tips so you don't miss any more videos from Computex 2018. Soul stare. No, you can't get away from the soul stare.